Good evening, everybody. This is Robin with another edition of Horror Pop After Midnight. And my guest, she starred in the latest film Stream. She plays Player 3. And hello, Liana.
Hi, I'm Liana Pirraglia, and I'm so happy to have this podcast interview with you.
Thank you so much. So this is your first horror film you've ever did in the world of indie horror. So what got you to become part of the Stream family and also play Player 3?
Yes, this is my first horror film, and I'm so happy to be a part of it. I met the Buzz on the Lens guys in 2019 on a different set that I was working on. I've done a lot of other acting work and different theater work my whole life, so horror was just the next genre to be a part of for me.
Yeah, so you played Player 3, and I just want to say you were a badass in it. You knew how to use the weaponry. So how much training did you have to do to master your weapons and the fight and some of the fight scenes?
While I was on set, I did need to take some time to learn how to use the, I think it's called a karambit. It's like a curved knife.
Okay.
That was my iconic weapon. It did take a few tries to figure out how to get a handle on that. But otherwise, for the stage combat, I've been dancing my whole life, and I did karate as well growing up for a little bit. So I felt pretty confident going into my fight scenes and doing all my own stunts. Yeah,
so dancing really helped you, coordinate and be the flexibility of the certain, fight scenes you were in.
Yes, for sure, it did. And you see in the movie pieces of it, but when you're on set, sometimes you'll have to pretend to kick someone like 20 times in a row. So you really need to have good stamina too. So it was so fun. I loved it.
It was filmed in a haunted hotel, and it was very haunted. So did you feel any paranormal goings while you're filming the movie? Did you feel like you were being watched, or did you witness anything? Because I know it was filmed in Gettysburg.
Yes, in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. That hotel was definitely haunted. It was super creepy. Just by luck, when I was going, I hit so much traffic coming from Long Island, New York, and I arrived to the hotel at 12 o'clock midnight, right on time. I feel like that's a little bit of a creepy time to arrive. And I got to this hotel, and there was just nobody there. It felt like a ghost town. There was nobody at the front desk. I felt like I was about to live like a real horror movie. But then Michael, the director, told me, you could just go to your room. Your door's open, which is another little creepy thing. I didn't really like hearing my door was open, but it's okay. And I go into my room, and I guess they had used the room to film earlier because there was like fake blood on the floor. I thought that I was stepping into a real life slasher film, but I survived, and then I was able to film, and everything was fine.
Hey, did you at least get another room?
It just there was just little droplets of blood. Just wipe those up off the floor, and then it was fine. Otherwise,
no. Tell me about the mask. What was it like to wear the mask? And when you were wearing the mask, did you feel like you transformed into like a killer? You know how you're like real nice, how I'm talking to you, and when you put that mask on, do you turn into like a different type of killer person?
The mask, it took a little bit of time to get it to feel comfortable. It was a little bit uncomfortable at first, but then it started to grow on me, and then I started to like wearing it. I was hoping that at one point it would like fly off, and then it would kind of give away the secret of who I was. But that wasn't part of the script, so
I like it how they kept it the mystery with you in the mask.
Yes.
Because, I didn't know what you'd look like through the whole film. I love how he kept the mystery about, Player 3. You quite don't know what Player 3 is all about because it doesn't get into an origin story. And then, yes. What was it like working with David Howard Thornton, who played your brother in there? and it seemed like you guys were having fun, doing kill scenes together. You guys like played off real well. And one of my favorite parts was when you guys were going down the hallway. We were skipping, but like in a sinister way and creepy way. So what was it like to have David Howard Thornton play your brother in the film?
David's the best. He's a really sweet person. He's like a great person to have on set. He's super nice, and I just felt like we were both like on the same page, very fluid. I could work off of what he was doing, and I found him to be really inspiring and an inspiration to my character to be more whimsical and fun and really add some extra flair and creepiness to everything that we were doing. So I definitely loved working with him.
Yeah, and one of my other favorite parts was you can tell on the set you guys were having fun killing your victims. There was one scene where you had this victim, and you guys kind of, I'm not going to spoil it or anything, you guys kind of played a game with them. That was just so gross, and I love the fear factor of it because I could never picture anything like that.
Yeah, that was an iconic moment. Amazing script writing there, because I don't know how they thought of that. That was something else. And filming that scene was crazy because, like, 1 second we'd all be laughing together or, talking about something, and the next second they're screaming and a new addition to the board. I guess I don't know if I could give it away, but it's so cool to be on a horror set, like the actors and everyone, just like how you can go from just being a normal person to just so in the moment, so extreme the next second. It's really impressive.
Now let's talk about you also got to work with Damien Leone and Phil Falcone, and those guys have twisted minds. So what was it like to get some of the blood and everything from Damien and Phil Falcone? What did it feel like to be, covered in blood?
Everything, they were really great to work with. Their, like, artistry is amazing. They're, like, just super hardworking. It's so funny. Like, everyone was such good friends on the set, and they all have such thick accents. I felt like I was going to get a Staten Island accent from hanging out with all of them for the duration of the filming. But you could tell they all have a nice, like, camaraderie together, and they love what they do. So it's really nice to see. Since
you played Player 3 in the film, what inspirations or what did you put into the character that really made it authentic and it really made you actually being Player 3?
I definitely brought my own feminine twist to Player 3. That was something that I could definitely play into while making her my own. And that made me feel like I was Player 3. Like, she is me and I am her and we are one. So I really liked bringing that girly twist to the character.
Yeah, I like it too. You also gave it a little Harley Quinn flavor to it as well.
Definitely channeling a little bit of Harley Quinn and making my own icon.
That's great. Now, let's talk about the fans, because there's a lot of diehard fans for Stream. Besides the Terrifier films, Streams has become really a hit in the theater. I mean, I saw it at the theater and stuff. So what are your thoughts about all these diehard fans loving Stream? And also, what's your thoughts about all these young girls dressing up and cosplaying as Player 3? I've seen a few at conventions. So how you feel about that? People dressing and cosplaying as your character.
Right. I'm so grateful as someone that is new to the horror community, with this being my first horror film. Everyone has just really been welcoming to me, and they have all, written nice letters to me on Instagram, which I really appreciate, and they send me beautiful artwork, and it's just so nice to see how detail-oriented people are with their artwork and with their I received, like, I saw this photo of someone crocheted a little Player 3 doll. I think I saw someone's even making a actual, like, action figure Barbie doll Player 3, which was, like, so cool. And then to see people also cosplay the costume, and I've also received messages about, you know, what brand are the shoes I'm wearing, what brand is the overalls that I'm wearing, and the top, and, you know, how do I do my hair, and just to see the actual costumes come together for people has been so impressive, because I'll have to do a double take. Like, I'll see someone cosplaying Player 3, and I think it's me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I wasn't at that convention, but I thought it was me for a second. Like, they really do perfect work when it comes to cosplaying. They're so, they pay so much attention to detail.
So, do you see yourself in the near future going to horror conventions, meeting your fans with the Streamcast?
Yes, I do. I got to tell Michael to let me know when I can come with him. Just let me know when that is, and I would love to go and meet everyone if they want to meet me. And that would be super cool.
Oh, that would be fun. So, did you also? So you also saw us stream on the big screen as well. So, what was going through your head while you were watching it in your first horror movie and watching you as Player 3 on the big screen?
Yeah, so I'm a big scaredy cat. So before the movie starts, I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope I can get through this and watch this, because I get so scared so easily. But I really liked it, and it was very like, oh my gosh, I have to watch everything that's going on right now. Like, I couldn't, you know, look away unless it was too gory. Then I, you know, looked away for a second. But otherwise, I was very into it, and I can't wait to watch another one, I guess. It's my first one, but I can't wait to watch another.
I'm definitely gonna. I saw the theater twice, and I can't wait to get the Blu-ray because I'm a strong collector of physical media. I have a huge movie collection, and I need stream in my possession. And then also, Scare Pros have been making, you know, stream T-shirts of everybody, and they have one with all the players. But I want one just with Player 3 on it. I would typically buy that. I would sport that shirt and be like, Player 3.
That's the one. That's
yeah.
She's the main girl.
Yeah, it's like really cool. Since you've been in your first horror film, do you see yourself doing more indie horror if it's that right role and that right script?
Yeah, if it's the right role, the right script, seems like a good fit for me. I would love to continue being a part of it. That would be amazing.
So, since you're in horror, a little bit of scaredy cat, have you thought about like picking up a horror film, just something different, just to watch it? I know you're a scaredy cat, but were you ever tempted just to watch at least another horror film?
Well, I once I heard that they were also part of like Terrifier, I had to watch a little clip of that. I don't think that was the right place to start though. That's I think that's pretty up there of like what's scary. I don't know, or what's gory. I don't think that's an entry level horror movie. That one's pretty gory. But I did see some scenes from that. So that's pretty crazy.
Well, I'll tell you two films you definitely need to see in horror. These are my favorite two. It's the original Halloween with Michael Myers.
Okay.
It's like it was made in the 70s. And then the second one is you need to watch the original Phantasm.
Phantasm. I'm writing these down.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. I have to add this to my list. I have not seen either of those. And Halloween's coming up soon, so that will be perfect for spooky season. Yeah,
this will be good for you. It's not like crazy like the clips you saw in the Terrifier films, because Damien's just a genius and he's just twisted to the minute, you know. Yeah. And that's some hardcore stuff. But these two films would be good for you to start in, so you don't. And then, you know, if you want to have a little fun too, you can always watch Hocus Pocus too.
Oh yes, that one I think I might have seen a long time ago.
That would be great. Cute. So when you're
Yes.
not modeling, acting, singing, do you have like a nerdy passion about yourself you enjoy doing when you're not in front of the screen of the camera?
When I'm not in front of the screen, well, I do take these like aerial classes, and I really like taking. I do like aerial silks, and it's called Lyra. It's like an aerial hoop,
Hmm.
and I love to take classes. I love being like a kind of like a student and always learning in these classes, and I'm finding like a lot of strength while doing them. I think that's definitely like my favorite hobby is taking like aerial classes. And I feel like a daredevil when I do it too.
Well, if you're gonna do that, might as well be a stunt person too.
Yeah, yeah.
Why?
Well, I don't know about maybe just the dancer stunts.
Hey, that would just work fine. And then,
Yes.
when you were like covered in blood, well, I said that earlier too. When you were covered in blood, did it have like a unique smell, or what did it taste like?
So the blood, it's something that people probably don't know through watching movies, but it
Mm.
actually, the blood that they were using on set smells and tastes like chocolate. And it smells very nice. So the sets, even though there's crazy stuff going on, at least it smells nice. So it's a little sticky, and it's like, I think there must be chocolate melted into it to make it look a little realistic, you know. But it has a nice, sweet, yummy smell, actually. It's pretty different.
Really, I've never been covered in blood. I've just heard like different stories. Some say it was sticky. Some like to be in it. Like you said, some says it has like a different flavor. So I was just
Yeah.
I was just curious. Knowing Damien and all that, I thought they'd make. I mean, they're just good. They just make that blood just so like realistic and stuff. And
It is sticky, and it is like very, I guess whenever I was filming, it was like very cold out. So once you get covered in blood, you're like, you feel like you're freezing.
that's wild.
Yeah.
So what was it like when you're on the set working with the Fuzz and the Lens brothers? Michael and Jason. How unique was working with them on set?
Michael, Jason, and Steve, they're great. They're like, I would just like the first characteristic I can think of to describe them is hardworking. They're dedicated. They are just like so passionate about everything that they do. Even when I met them on a set that wasn't even their project, they're just always hands on, always ready to help. Always ready to just get the job done, and they're just super inspiring. So I was so happy that I was able to work with them again for Stream, and maybe I'll work with them again in the future.
Another quick question too. I'm going to ask you: is this your first podcast interview?
Let me think. I guess we're on Zoom right now, so I know I've done Zoom interviews. I did do like a Zoom interview for, it's called like the Daily Star, and I had to do like a Zoom interview.
Mm-hmm.
But this might be my first podcast, like actual podcast.
Yeah, because this podcast is an audio podcast.
Okay.
So I talked to my guests in Zoom, but I record it in audio. So this
Nice.
has to be your first audio podcast, then.
I think this is. I gotta go check my resume, but I think it's my first. Yeah, it's my first like actual podcast. So cool.
Yeah, you should feel privileged.
Yay!
So, what are some of your next projects you're going to be doing right after Stream?
So now that Stream has come out, I'm just seeing where the wind takes me right now.
Mm-hmm.
Always trying to see what the next audition is, and with Stream, I have like SAG actors eligibility.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that the strike has been over, so that's very nice. So I'm going to see what comes my way. I can't wait to. I'm just excited as everyone else to see what comes next.
Yeah, now I'm going to follow you to see what you're doing next. I want to know what you're going to be doing next. I mean, look at you. You like did your first horror film, man. That's just amazing. I want to see what Liana does next. I'm curious now. So you got my attention on that. So I'm looking forward to, like I said, seeing what you're going to be doing next. So
Yes.
that's pretty awesome. So where can everybody find you on social media so they can follow you?
You can find me on Instagram. I have TikTok, all the different social medias, and it's just under my name. It's Liana, Liana. And my last name is, I use on social media. I take the G out just so it's easier to pronounce because I have an authentic Italian last name, but I spell it a little differently so people know how to pronounce it. But I spell it Pirraglia for my social medias. I know for stream they use my real last name, so I go back and forth, whatever I feel like.
So you also sing too. So since you have a TikTok, do you sing on your TikTok?
I do have some singing videos on my TikTok. I also have some on my YouTube. Yeah, whenever I'm in a singing mood, I post a little singing video.
I'll definitely have to go check these out.
Yeah, I went to school for musical theater, so I love, Broadway and this kind of show tunes and American Standard songs, and I love it.
Oh, that's cool. You have a stage background. So have you done any stage plays?
Yes, I've done theater my whole life. I went to the American Musical and Dramatic Academy in New York City for my, musical theater college. So, yeah, and I've done, commercial work. I've done a lot of modeling and everything, film, a lot of different things. Just my first horror movie.
That's pretty good. That's so awesome.
Yes.
That's great horror. And once you get into horror, especially when you start going to conventions, the horror community is the most nicest people you'll ever meet. I mean, everybody's like a big family, and I hope in the near future you get a chance to experience your first horror convention and your first live fans and all that. And you better tell and you better tell Michael to drag you to some of these conventions so you can meet some of your fans.
Definitely. I'm already feeling the love through social media, so it's already been pretty amazing. So I'm very grateful for everyone that's reached out to me and that also loves stream.
All right. Thank you so much for coming on. It was a blast.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Hey, I loved it too. And everybody, thank you for listening to Horror Pop After Midnight.